Have you ever asked a question? Everyone just looked at you like you're from another planet, like you're sitting in a group. Someone explains something very confidently and you say, wait, but why do we assume that's true? And suddenly the room goes quiet. Here's the interesting part. Highly intelligent people often ask certain types of questions without even realizing they're doing something different. To them, it feels normal. To others, it feels intense. Today, we're diving into the subtle questions high IQ people naturally ask, what psychology says about them. Let's get into it first. They ask, why does this work? Not just how, but why. If something succeeds, they don't stop at the surface. They want the mechanism behind it. If a friend says, this morning routine changed my life, a high IQ person might ask, what exactly about it made the difference? They're not being annoying. They're looking for cause and effect. Their brain naturally searches for patterns. According to cognitive psychology, people with high analytical intelligence tend to break systems down into components. They want to understand the engine, not just admire the car. Second, they ask, what's the evidence? This doesn't mean they don't trust you. It means they don't automatically trust claims. If someone says nobody likes him, they might respond nobody or just a few people. They question generalizations. They notice when language becomes exaggerated. Studies on critical thinking show that intelligent individuals are more sensitive to logical fallacies and vague wording. Their brain quietly flags it. Third, they ask, what if we're wrong? This one surprises people. You'd think confident, smart individuals always defend their ideas, but many of them actually challenge their own conclusions first, before making a big decision. They might ask, what's the strongest argument against this? That's intellectual humility. Research suggests that high intelligence is often linked with openness to new information. They don't fear being wrong. They fear missing something important. Fourth, they ask, compared to what? This question is powerful. If someone says, that's expensive, a high IQ person might ask, expensive compared to what? They instinctively look for context. They understand that numbers and opinions don't mean much without comparison. This ability to think relatively instead of absolutely is a sign of advanced reasoning. Fifth, they ask, what's the long-term effect? While others focus on immediate results. Intelligent thinkers naturally project forward. If a company makes a quick profit move, they'll ask, okay, but what happens in 5 years? Their brains simulate the future. Psychology calls this prospective thinking, the ability to imagine outcomes before they happen, strongly linked to strategic intelligence. Sixth, they ask, what assumptions are we making? This is where things get deep. Most people argue about conclusions. High IQ people question the foundation itself. Imagine two friends debating success. One says you have to work 18 hours a day to win. A high IQ thinker might ask, why do we assume success only comes from overworking? They dig under the argument. They look for hidden premises. It can feel uncomfortable, but it's how real breakthroughs happen. Seventh, they ask, is there another way to see this? Instead of locking into one perspective, they search for alternatives. If someone criticizes them, instead of reacting instantly, they might think, could they be seeing something I'm not? That flexibility is connected to cognitive adaptability, the ability to shift viewpoints. It's a strong predictor of problem-solving skill. Eighth, they ask questions to understand people, not just information. This one is subtle. They might ask, why do you feel that way? Instead of what happened, they're curious about motivations. High intelligence isn't only logical, it often includes emotional insight. They want to understand the human system too. And here's something funny. High IQ people often don't realize these questions are unusual. To them, it's just thinking. But to others, it can feel like overthinking. You know that friend who can't watch a movie without saying, that plot doesn't make sense structurally? Oh, yeah, that's the one. But here's the important part. Asking these questions isn't about showing off. It's about curiosity. Psychologists consistently find that curiosity and intelligence are strongly connected. The smartest people aren't the loudest in the room. They're usually the ones quietly dissecting what's being said. So if you find Yourself constantly asking, why? What's the proof? What if we're wrong? Compared to what? It might not be difficult. You might just have a brain that refuses to accept shallow answers. And here's the twist. Intelligence isn't about knowing all the answers. It's about asking better questions. The real sign of a high IQ mind isn't how much it talks. It's how deeply it wonders. So next time someone looks at you strangely for asking one more why, just smile. Your brain is doing exactly what it was designed to do.